That was a good video. I like that. The gameplay was goated. Yeah, I would say so too. I mean, I thought it was really good. I mean, I think most people thought that, honestly. I feel like a lot of people did. So I was glad to see it. The Mimic Boss too. Well, I mean, a lot of stuff was good with the game, right? It wasn't just one thing. Expedition 33 has better gameplay than Baldur's Gate 3 by a mile. Well, yeah, because they focus mainly on gameplay. I think that's what makes the most sense, doesn't it? There's the video right there. I actually like Hypnotic's videos a lot. I mean, I've watched a lot of them myself. And, you know, make sure to give him a sub and everything like that. He has, how many does he have? 107,000 subscriberinos. Wow. And
welcome home.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Hypnocast. That's right. We are live, boys. We are live. We are live. We are live. We're going to dive down the rabbit hole that is known as the internet. But before we do any of that, you got to bring it in close, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, Friday was insane. All right. If you weren't here Friday, you missed it. That's really all I could say. But all I do know is that my voice is dying again because of all the yelling and screaming that happened on Friday. So shout out to you guys for the amazing stream on Friday. But let's bring it in close. Come on, we got to hug it out. It is the beginning of the week. It's Sunday. Come on. It's Sunday. Let's go. Get in here right now. Hurry up. Hurry up and listen very closely. If you're watching on YouTube, like the stream. Like it. Now. Right now. If you are watching on Rumble, like the stream. If you are watching on Twitter, like the post. And if you are watching anywhere else right now, you probably missed the Friday stream. And that's just sad. Like the stream. Don't let it happen to you. Can I get a mic check, please? Mic check, titty check, balls check. What are we checking, man? What are we checking today? Guys, we got a good amount of topics today. Also, we got a good amount of video games that we're going to be looking at today. Games that apparently are going to be coming out pretty soon. I learned how to finagle the whole like Steam calendar thing to try to show me like indie games that are releasing semi-soon or supposed to be releasing soon or whatever the case may be. So That's going to be very helpful moving forward. But what else are we checking? What are we checking today, man? Let me look at the chat. What's the chat saying right now? Good Sunday evening, everyone. Check. Very nice. Very nice. I'm just happy to see y'all. Check. That's very nice. Mandatory ball check. Okay. 2 days till this normie gets his Steam Deck. Oh, man. Ron DFK. Ron DFK, that means that Steam went to you personally and said that they're going to try to make you join their platform. They advertised to you, didn't they? You goddamn normie. Sorry, that's just a little bit of rage from Saturday. Bouncing K-Cup titties check? What the fuck? Still at work check? That sucks. I'm sorry. Chick check. Okay. No Xenos, no mutants check. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Brown does his Bentity to the modern audience check. Yep. I saw Savvy complaining about that on Twitter. Normie check. Absolutely. What is that? Spectacle, testicle, wallet, and watch check? What the fuck is that? Hypno pharmaceutical company check. Since when? What the fuck? Hinata's titties reign supreme check? Bro, come on. I've already been coping for like 2 days now. Please, don't make me cope again. Sig Xeon check. Hey, everybody, happy Sunday check. Best joke ever check. Elf girls are the best isekai girls check. I'm glad you're feeling better check. I am feeling better, but unfortunately on Friday, like I said, we went a little bit too hard. And I realized that after that stream, I kind of lost my voice a little bit. So, I mean, there's that. Hypno cartel check? No cartel. Spicy chicken wrap check sounds really good. All right, boys, listen, our ESG scores are at their maximum. We are fully funded. Like the stream. Let's do the Bigot Army roll call. Let's see who is in this chat right now, aside from former Kotaku urinalist Black Samurais that unfortunately did exist last year but no longer do, and people that swear that they just want to be left alone, but then when they get left alone, they can't seem to leave you alone. Even though it's been a very long time. It's kind of weird. It's a little bit weird. Almost as if the intention has nothing to do with what is actually being said. We got Demon Carol. Damn, see, I lost my voice there. God damn it. There we go. Cool. I'm good. Tim Grow. Tronic Tensor? Tronic Tensor? Aliens. Matthew with the Hero Prees. We got Deku Leader. We got Dark Daimos questioning his entire existence. We got Hypnotic and Rapture. The Voice in the Water. Laying face down in a puddle of my own despair? That's depressing. What the fuck? Somebody needs to go get Voice in the Water right now and get him out of his puddle of despair. Just get him out. Somebody help him, please. Soul Reaper. We got Dr. Spike saying here and banned. By the way, Friday was so insane. Friday was literally so insane that he got mega banned. Like, I think like 48 hours or more, maybe. It's crazy. We all kind of saw that coming, but still. Wedge Seraph, Maggie 32, Mr. Melancholy, Romanizer 24, John D. What's up, bro? I saw your comment on my video today. I think I responded. I'm pretty sure. Commander Sonak, Lucky Boy, Dr. Spike on Rumble, 17 Crash Gaming. Do I want to be here? Yes. That's a good answer. Weenie for Sweetie, Fluffy Murder Machine, TVT, Phil Espa, Limitless Andre, Soapy Enigma, Creepy 07, Too Cool Curry. We got Matthew saying Hero Prees. We got Soul Reaper 2078. We got Beautiful Zexel, Codex Pop, Tanya. Hypno's gay. Thanks, Tanya. Appreciate that. Midnight Mike, Felstep, Grimlock, Dragonite on Rumble, Oliver Adam, Light Ferret on Rumble. We got PC Explosion on Rumble. We got, who else is here? Let me see. King Dimmy the fucking legend. King Dimmy emojis in the chat right now, boys. Right now. We got Faye Summer, Colonel Ruv. We got, let me scroll down. Deidre Connick on Rumble. Colonel Ruv, who is banned from the Money Shot for the rest of the month. We got Jay Sims, Deku Leader, questioning his entire existence. Cozy Goober. Have you heard of the legend of Dart Saxius the Smooth? Now I have. Ali Kusanagi, Pizza Cat, Darkwind. He says he thinks he's here. Kane Bladed. The Swabby one. All right, boys, 4 more people. 4 more people. Then we got to get on with the show. 4 more people. We got Panther. We got Screw Your Feelings. That is secretly the alt account of Old Man Cat. I'm just kidding. I have no idea if that's true. We got Radio Chimp. What's up, Radio Chimp? How you doing, bro? Yamato 85. Time Bound Howler. We got, let me scroll down. Dragatello. We got Faye Summer. And Danko Orange says he's here. We got the Joker himself, Trey Burkhalter. This fucking guy, bro. I still can't believe what he did. I still can't believe it. And last but not least, we got Spectral Heartless. I'm a proud alcoholic. We got Lionheart Cowboy. We got Hans 9311. Just order the Steam Deck, bro. Everybody in this chat has been ordering Steam Decks lately. It's actually amazing. It legitimately is amazing. I fucking love to see it. That is great to hear. Review Big Cheese 200. Blue Octopussy screaming at the top of her lungs. Dylan B. And Final Twin saying he's here. And Demon Carol. And let me see. Scroll down. Snake. We got Snake. And Dan Ocean. And Democulus on Rumble. And John Bond Zombie. And Apollo Monopoly. All right, boys, listen, I called out and Speedy King, as many people as I possibly could, and Setsuna Shadow. It is time for the Bigot Army money shot. Let's see who is going to get the massive money shot today, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday. It is Sunday. So Sunday could be the biggest or the smallest, depending on how we're feeling today. We'll see how this goes, boys. But we all know that Colonel Ruff will not be the one. Soul Reaper says no Stiko, no Jaffe, no Mercanti. Booty hole protected by Master and Ultra Instinct Goku. Beast Mode Gohan combo breaker gets Una reversed down by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You gotta be fucking kidding.
Holy shit.
You have got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. The emojis make it worse. You realize that, right? Like the emojis make it worse. He's literally pointing to an open. Oh my God, bro. Congratulations to Spectral Heartless. You are the recipient of the money shot today.
What the?
Even with Colonel Ruff banned, we still have people that basically open wide just like Colonel Ruff. It's ridiculous, man. It's insane. All right, boys, listen, we got a lot we got to talk about today. All right, we're going to be talking about Apex Legends getting hacked. Not really. What it is that it kind of is hacked, just not in like a, typical way. We're going to talk about it. It did get hacked, and the way that it got hacked is actually very interesting. So we'll cover that. We're also going to be talking about this recent article that people are kind of spreading around about The Sims. If you guys remember, with EA being bought out by Saudi Arabia, one of the biggest fear of the Wokies was that they're not going to have their representation in one of the gayest games that are available right now. The Sims is by far one of the most, I would say, profitable woke video games out there. And they were very upset. They thought that they were suddenly going to take all the gay away. And everybody kept saying that's not going to happen. Well, now there's a new article kind of interviewing the people who are behind the upcoming Sims game that they're working on. And they basically are just doubling down, saying, no, like, ideology is very important to us. Representation is very important to us. It's not going to go away. I mean, the amount of panic that is surrounding the Sims franchise is kind of ridiculous. But anyway, we're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about Diablo 4. Apparently, they finally added leaderboards back to the game, which is something that's been missing for a very, very long time. But apparently, they have finally added it back. And I'm very curious to see how many of it is going to be taken up by potential cheaters, but we will talk about that. We also got a couple of fast topics, some Assassin's Creed director stuff, some Witcher 3 stuff from the Witcher 3 designer. We got Games Workshop. Apparently, Warhammer World's coming to the U.S. now, which is interesting. And then we obviously got a bunch of indie games to look at. A lot. We got, I think, like 6, if I'm not mistaken. So buckle up. Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, as I fight desperately to get my voice back and not cough 24/7. It is time for the #1 segment on YouTube, the #1 segment on Rumble, the #1 segment all around the galaxy. This segment is no none other than the pre-stream legend.
Money, print money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, more money, heaps and heaps of money, print money, cash, money, well, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, super chat money.
As salty as the sea, calling us no code names. SJW screaming, but it's money they blame. Burning with envy, they're falling flat. They can't handle the sound of a super chat.
All right. We got ourselves the pre-stream legends, ladies and gentlemen, where luckily, before the stream even started, we actually did manage to pass tier 1 because of the absolute fucking legend that is known as King Demon Wing. But we are still on the road to tier 2. So if we get lucky, we might be able to get 226 tier 2s in a row. But we are already at 535 tier 1s in a row. So let's get into it. Robert Lawrence says, I'm already tired of seeing Alyssa. Me too. By the way, me too. I am currently working on a new pre-stream Legends clip. I'm working on a lot of things. So expect changes. Expect changes. But we shall see. All right, let's get into it, boys. We got King Demon Wing, as mentioned already. Spam the King Demon Wing emojis in the chat right now. King Demon Wing dropping a 10 membership mega banger like a fucking boss.
Let's fucking go! It's a membership banger!
And considering that is the first one of the stream, you already know what that means. Shout out to King Demon Wing dropping that 10 membership banger. Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. As always, keeping the membership strong. I appreciate that. Actually, I can't even check because it's Sunday. Fuck. That's right. I was going to check to see if we hit the membership goal so that I can make the Steam numbers don't matter emoji. But I can't check till tomorrow. I forgot. It's not even Monday yet. All right, I'll check tomorrow. But thank you, King Demon Wing. I appreciate that, my man. T-Jap says we're 180 away from tier 2. T-Jap, make sure that includes the Red Boy that was just dropped on Rumble not that long ago by Dr. Spike. Please make sure. And then we got King fucking Demon Wing again with a 50 membership.
Let's fucking go! It's a membership banger!
An absolute massive 50 membership ultra mega hyper banger. We don't get those too often, but when we do, the chat goes crazy. I saw the chat getting sniped green left and right by King Demon Wing at the beginning of the stream. So shout out to this man. I appreciate you. I already know what clips he wants because he told me before. So let's get it going. I believe it was Fairies and Gingers. So that's how we're going to start today. And don't forget, guys, we do have the brand new Goblin Girl clip. So if you haven't seen that yet, well, the Red Boys will counter that. All right, here we go. Fairies and Gingers. Let's get it.
It's a Red Boy hyper banger, bitches! Let's bring the ladies in!
The absolute fucking legend. And we're going to get into the other super chats in a minute, boys. But we have an unofficial moderator in the chat. Make sure you guys welcome them in right now. He's keeping count. He, she, whatever it is, keeping count. Make sure that we welcome them in, boys. Welcome in the unofficial moderator. Damn, they're here early today. You love to see it. You love to see it. Well, they're going to love to see this because we just hit tier 2 for the 200 and what was that? 226 stream in a row. Nice work. They really hate this part. They really hate this part. But it's okay. It's not a problem. Welcome in unofficial moderators as we just successfully hit 226 tier 2s in a row. And we already hit our 535 tier 1s in a row. Thank you guys so much for your consistent support on this extremely dead channel. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I love it, bro. I love it so much. This is great. All right, Mr. Melancholy. Mr. Melancholy with a 149 super sticker. Shout out to Mr. Melancholy. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And then we got Speedy Cake with a $20 banger. Says, I saw a short 3 to 5 minute video last night about Code Violet and how bugged one section of the game was, where the player did a loop and saved each time and respawned shotgun ammo and money each time. Wait, so it just kept adding? Like, it just kept adding money and shotgun ammo? What the fuck? You know, I did see actually, I did see a video where somebody was showcasing the bugs from the game, and they were showcasing how when you switch weapons, like the arms fall off, which is weird. Like when Violet goes to switch weapons or even reload sometimes, like the arms leave the body. Like they're attached to the gun or something. It's just fucking weird. It's so weird. But no, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it is what it is, bro. People that bought the game, and that's just what it is. And hopefully it opens up a lot of people's eyes. But there are going to be a lot of PlayStation super fans that want to eat it just because they feel like it's an exclusive for them. And we all know how they feel about those. So that just is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see. We got Speedy Cake with another 5. But what got me was the blatant acid rip of the door sounds, as they were using the MS-DOS Doom Door hydraulic door sounds. Well, I mean, listen, to be fair, and I know they would never be fair to me, but to be fair, these games that use acid flips, oh, that's weird. Why did the unofficial moderator leave? He's not talking anymore. I guess once he started seeing the red boys come in, that's weird. They're supposed to be here to count the fucking super chats. Anyway, to be fair, when it comes to like acid flipping, there's a lot of video games, especially smaller teams, that do utilize the assets. And it doesn't mean that it's lazy or anything like that necessarily. Obviously, the way they're doing it is a bit lazy, but it just quite frankly means that they don't have the budget to do anything custom work to the massive extent. You know what I mean? So asset flipping is not necessarily a bad thing. That's why they're there. They're there for people to utilize. But you're supposed to utilize the asset and then kind of make it your own thing. But if you utilize something like that, that's so obviously known by so many people, that at the very least, try to do everything else that makes it seem like you put some work into it, you know? But I mean, it is what it is, man. What am I gonna do? The unofficial moderators can't count. Yeah, I mean, he left. He left. Sonia says I show up and he runs. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd even ban him. I was going to, but I was like, you know what? He said this is a dead channel, so I really want him to enjoy what he's about to witness. And the sad thing is, he can't even see what's happening on Rumble. Rumble's popping off right now, which will make him highly upset. So I like when people come into the beginning of the stream where we're at our lowest viewership and they're like, this is a dead chat. There's 300 people at the beginning of the stream. We usually have about 500 people an hour into the stream. Like, what the fuck? Anyway, but they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Not even including Rumble, by the way. So we got, let's see, Raptor Kratos with a 2. Drink warm tea with lemon and raw honey for your voice. Fuck it. We're just going to power through. We are going to power through what counts as a dead chat, anything that they can basically think of. So if they don't like you, you could have 1,000 people in your chat, it'll be considered dead. If you can have 2,000 people in your chat, it'll be considered dead. If they don't like you, all it is they don't like you, so they're gonna just say whatever they think is gonna upset you. When at the end of the day, the show continues, we have a good time. They have to watch it all goes down, pretty much. Anything that's not Hassan's chat. Well, the funny thing is, even if they didn't like Hassan, they would consider his chat to be dead too. So just think about that. Hans for 5 months says, spent all my money on a Steam Deck, so I use my free membership to comment Epic Chat. Hey, Hans, that is not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing, my guy. You can never go wrong. I will never, bro, absolutely. That you got a Steam Deck. That's amazing. Which model did you get? I know you must have gotten the OLED because they don't make the LCD anymore, but like which did you get the, what is it? The standard or the upgraded one? Let me know. Hans with a 2 says, I'll throw a 2 out. That's fair. I appreciate you, bro. You didn't have to. The free chat was fine. But I appreciate that regardless. Rhonda's back with a 189. Oh, mamma mia. Under the bad day for games today. It's never a bad day. It's just a good day with more shit. You got to think of it like that. Hans says he got a 1 terabyte. Nice, bro. Very nice. You spent good money on that. Enjoy it. Let me know how you like it in the future. I always say, man, my Steam Deck allows me to get so much extra gaming in. It's not even funny. Like if I can sneak in like a 30-minute play session playing something random. Like sometimes I'll play Ball X Pit for like 30 minutes. Sneak that in like twice, a day if I can. But lately, to be fair, my gaming, and this sucks because I have 2 major hobbies, right? 2 major like entertainment-based hobbies. One of them is gaming, right? Which takes a lot of time, so that's just is what it is. It's also kind of work too at the end of the day because of that's just what I do. And then number 2, which is also kind of work because it also is what I do. I've been reading a lot of manga lately because I've been so far behind on reading manga because I've been so into just playing video games and playing my indie games and whatnot. And I was playing a lot of Ball X Pit. I've been trying to platinum. I've been doing a lot of fucking gaming. So I fell behind on manga reading. I had started Dorohedoro. I was on chapter 9 for like a fucking month because I was so far behind. Well, now I'm doing a lot of reading. So now I'm on what was it? Book number, I think 16. I've been trying to finish that series. I think there's 24 books in that series. So once I finish that, I'll probably do one more series and then probably get back to gaming for a little bit. I don't know, man. It's back and forth all the time. It's back and forth. Manga as in hentai, of course. You motherfucker. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. We got Jason Alator to 5. So we had Hassan fans in here. I don't know, bro. I have no fucking idea. I have literally no idea, bro. Again, people, there's a really weird obsession with a lot of people. I really don't know what that is. I don't really talk about people anymore. Like for the last year plus, I have been strictly focused on just the gaming industry, video games as a whole, especially indie games. I feel like I really, I really wanted to put those extra eyes on indie games, and I've been doing it for games that it's regardless of political affiliation. Like I don't give a fuck about what the person's politics are. And I know there's some indie developers out there that don't want me to cover their game, and I don't fucking care. Like if I think the game looks interesting, I'm going to say it looks interesting because I'm judging it based off the game. I'm not judging it based off how retarded you are. That's really it. But a lot of people don't think like that. Twitter's a cesspool. Well, X is a cesspool. And it's just one of those things that, I have backed away from social media as a whole because I just think that social media has evolved from what it used to be. Social media, like YouTube, not so much, but social media has evolved into people purposefully trying to misunderstand each other so that they can't talk to each other. You know what I mean? I know there's like that saying that people have, like, oh, leftists purposely misunderstand things so that you can't have discourse. I don't think it's just them. I think it is majority them, but I don't think it's just them. I think overall, social media has devolved into that, period. That's just what social media is. Completely. So it's like, it's people purposely not wanting to understand each other whatsoever, just so they can keep arguing. That's it. They just want to keep arguing. And if they can't keep arguing, well, they're going to be sad about it. So it just is what it is. Anyway, it's fine. Jason, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. All right, let's see. We got. Let me scroll up on Rumble. Dr. Spike with a $100 Red Boy Hyper.
Here we go! Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's a way of life. Mucha lucha.
He says, kicking back and enjoying the show and the 48-hour ban on YouTube. LOL. Ouch. YouTube fucking mega banned him on Friday. Oh, man. YouTube mega banned his ass on Friday, man. They were like, you need to stop. I'm pretty sure Trey's fucking mega banned too on YouTube. I'm almost positive. God damn, man. Well, listen, shout out to Dr. Spike. Dr. Spike's holding it down on Rumble. I don't think Rumble has a ban limit because Dr. Spike went fucking crazy on Rumble on Friday. Like, I thought that they had the same ban limit, but they don't. They don't. He said, I don't think they do. But anyway, it's fine. Shout out to Dr. Spike. Appreciate you, my man. Trey says he's banned. Yep. I thought so. In the meantime, Dr. Spike did not tell us what clips he wants, so I'm going to give him one that is legendary because it just is.
All right, boys, we have another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Shout out to Dr. Spike with that Red Boy Hyper Banger, but he's not done because Dr. Spike followed it up with another $100 Red Boy Hyper Banger.
Here we go! Mucha lucha, mucha lucha. It's a way of life. Mucha lucha.
And he says, well, ooh, woo, put them ears on. I already did. That's how we got to. Shout out to Dr. Spike. You absolute fucking legend, man. Holy shit. He is not letting YouTube hold him down. Spam the Dr. Spike emojis in the chat, whether you're on YouTube or on Rumble. It does not matter. Spam it regardless. And we're going to play the Goblin Girls because, well, I just want to freak people out.
All right, boys, we got another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Man, you guys that requested goblins, you guys need to fucking repent, bro. You need to absolutely repent. Dragatello, new kink unlocked, really? Really? You need to repent, bro. Look at this. Why am I okay with this fucking radio chip? You guys need to repent, bro. All of you. All of you. All right, man. Listen. I think we're fully caught up. Let me just double check. We are fully caught up. Let's go. It is time to get into the content, ladies and gentlemen. Before we do the indie games, I got to showcase something that I saw on Twitter, man. It's shit's crazy, bro. It's actually unbelievable. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the GDQ. I don't know if anybody in the chat is familiar. There's a $1 in Rumble. Where? I didn't. Hold on. Let me double check. Sorry. Give me a second. Thank you, T-Jet. Draconic for $1 says the unofficial moderator rage quit the channel. Yeah, he did, man. He did. I was hoping he was going to stick around for more than 2 comments. I think all he said was that my chat is dead, and he also said that the AI videos are slop. That's it. That's all I got. I was hoping for at least 3, but then he left. He left once the donations started coming in, and he also left once the viewership started rising, which is sad. So it's all right. Unofficial moderators, man, they're a little bit emotional. It's okay. Modder haters. That's actually a pretty good title, modder haters. But I think I like calling them unofficial moderators more because it just sounds funnier, you know? Who was he? Name? I don't remember the name. I legit don't remember the name. I just remember what he said. That's how little I pay attention to these people. I'm sure he'll show up again. Give him time. I think it was like aggro. I think the chat said aggro or something like that. Was it aggro? Yeah, aggro. Exactly, Tanya. Aggro something. I have no idea, but it's okay. He needs to just admit that he loves his fucking channel. He's probably an alt account of somebody retarded. Anyway, so the GDQ. All right. What is the GDQ? So the GDQ stands for Games Done Quick, which is a charity fundraising organization that hosts live nonstop video game marathons featuring speedrunners. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, but the speedrunning community has been taken over for a long time now, I think. And Tectone ended up putting out this post, and it's crazy because I didn't even realize this until he posted about it. Let me take this off screen. Hold on, sorry. There we go. So if you look here, let me go here. There we go. If you look here, you guys like the new bottom bar, by the way? So professional. Anyway, Tectone posted, y'all remember when the GDQ is actually about speedrunning games? What a fucking joke, right? So I was like, what is this about? You know? Because I don't really get Tectone's post on my feed very often, unless it's like super gaming related. So I was like, all right, so what is this about? What is he posting about? And then I looked at the picture. Bro. You know what? Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. Bro.
Holy shit.
This guy looks legitimately sick. Is he okay? Or she or it or whatever? Are they okay? Bro, look at the cheekbones. Oh my God, bro. This one's chilling. This one is definitely okay. What is that? I have no idea. I have no idea. So I was like, all right, that's not that big of a deal, right? So I was like, all right, that's one picture. That's one picture, whatever, you know, fine. And then I ended up looking through the post and I realized that, oh, wait, it's not just one picture or, you know, a couple people, whatever. Apparently, according to the people that watched the GDQ, they were getting basically like trans lives propaganda, like trans lives matter propaganda pushed on them every like 15 minutes throughout the entire thing. Which at that point, it's like, okay, so then what are we doing? Are we about speedrunning? Is this about speedrunning, or is this no longer about speedrunning anymore? You know? It's like, what are we doing? You know? So, I mean, listen, if this is what the GDQ is now, then hey, more power to them. Right? All these guys in the background are loving this shit. Look at this. All the guys in the background. Whoops. All the guys in the background, they're loving this, man. Look, you got somebody wearing a mask. You know, Hey, maybe he's immunocompromised. Who knows? I don't know. I have no idea. This is CC. Is this CC? Oh man. They banned all the Harry Potter games from the runs. Yes, I did hear about that. That was the last thing that I heard about the GDQ is that they banned Harry Potter video games from being able to be speed ran. And that is what immediately made me sus about the GDQ, but I never knew it actually looked like this. I didn't know. I didn't know it was like this. I had no idea. And then like I said, people were talking about it in the chat, and they were saying that, you know, it was basically here. I'll show you the post so that you guys know it's not me saying it. It's just something I'm reading. Alex Brand says, always loved watching it, but they're genuinely forcing this agenda during the whole stream. There doesn't even go 15 minutes by without someone mentioning trans rights. It's not even about speedrunning anymore. Well, that's kind of sad, right? Because speedrunning used to be a really fucking cool thing to watch. And there was a lot of community surrounding speedrunning. And if it just ended up turning into just this, well, that kind of sucks, man. That kind of sucks. Wait, what? What the hell is this supposed to mean? Does having 3 pronouns make her have 3 pronouns? Who has 3 Oh, shit. Wait, was the person that we were watching called Behemoth Steve? No way. She, he, they? Oh, shit, bro. That's insanity.
Holy shit.
So the first person... Wait, let me scroll up. No way. No way. The first... This is Behemoth Steve? Oh, shit, bro. Or is it Quacksilver? It says host. Quack... No. One, I have no idea. I have no idea. All I know is this shit is insane. That's all I can really say. So, I mean, hey, props to them. They got their own little community now. They co-opted the speedrunning community and took it over, and now they got everybody by the balls in the, no pun intended, by the way, in the speedrunning community, and they have it hostage. Good for them. Good for them, I guess. I don't know. What are we looking at? I don't know. David, I don't know. I wish I knew, but I just don't know. Half the time, this is why I avoid Twitter a lot of the time. Because, you know, I see shit like this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go back to talking about video games. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway. Okay, well, that's enough for the speedrunning community. Now, let's actually go and talk about video games, where we're going to go over the Indie Showcase. Because that's fun. Why do people even watch that? Speedrunning used to be really cool to watch. So, Joker. So I can't blame them for wanting to watch that. Because it used to be really fun to watch. I used to love watching like N64 speedrun games, but I haven't watched it in a while, and now I'm kind of glad that I don't, because that would suck to have that taken away. But anyway, let's get into it.
All right, folks, it's time for the Indie Game Showcase.
All right. Let's get into it. The first one up is called The False Gods Fold, which is a turn-based card strategy game with fallen gods, epic shattered relics, and all that good stuff. So let's see what we got going on here. The False Gods Fold. Let's bring it up on Steam. Oh, shit. Why is it not working? All right, let's do it like that. Let's keep it like that. Yes, this is actual cards, not roguelike cards. There's a difference. There's roguelike cards, and then there's cards. These are cards. Wait, which character is B? What character are you saying is B? Is this one? Dude, hold on. Wait a fucking second. Now you wait a Kai pick a minute, bro. Hold on. That's crazy. Wait a second. Hold up. Dude, that's insane, bro. Oh, man. Long lost brother. That's insane. Wow, bro. Actually, that looks almost identical. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Aside from the color. Oh, that's funny. No, I mean, listen, whatever. It is what it is. But I can't help but laugh. That's funny. I'm in a card game. I would end up in a card game considering all like the jokes. Considering all the jokes that I make about cards and shit. That's so funny. All right, let's let's continue. Not gonna lie, this shit kind of looked like AI. Just in the way the animations were. Kind of looked a little bit AI. But overall, I mean, listen, it's a card game. I like showing all kinds of different games, even if it's not necessarily for me. I don't think this one is for me, even though I happen to be in the game, it looks like. But overall, you know, I'll link it in the chat regardless. Anybody that may want to wishlist it, you are more than welcome to. I'm hoping that it's going to be in English, considering that the trailer was not in English. But, you know, it is what it is. So I linked it in the chat on YouTube and on Rumble. Graphically, it looked pretty cool. I would say that the graphics looked all right. All right, next one up. I brought this one up just because it's so funny. It's so funny. It's called Gamer Stop Simulator. Yes, I'm not kidding. Gamer Stop Simulator. You talk about copyright infringement. Let's check this one out. Here we go. So it's basically Chinese GameStop. Where you can hire people, fire people, work on your store, expand your store, et cetera, et cetera. It's basically like a video game retail simulator.
Boss, 早く仕事がもらえたら嬉しいです。こんなゲームショップで働けるなんて本当に嬉しい。
Now, the interesting thing is you could go out on town, which I think that's pretty interesting. Bro, Zega man, Order Force, Tech Den, Zega Man X. Bro, Zega man? Oh my god, what is going on here, bro? All right, I think we've seen enough. This is very clearly Chinese, whatever. I'm still going to link it anyway if you want to wishlist it. You are more than welcome to. They have Zega Man in the game. I mean, that's got to be a selling point, right? All right, next one up, we got some actual video games. We got Big Hops. It is a 3D platformer, which looks kind of cool. I like games like this sometimes. So I was like, you know what? Hey, I'll check it out. Whatever. Let's see what we got going on with this. Let's see what we got going on with this. Put the audio up. Here we go.
How am I gonna get home?
I thought that was pretty cool. It's simple. It's like old school gaming. What's this?
I'm waiting.
What the fuck? That's creepy. This guy's name is Dis. He's like, I'm waiting. The fuck? Why would you end a cute video game like this with whatever the fuck this is? That's weird. Anyway, all right. So I thought it was pretty cool overall. I thought that it is something that looks nice and simple, fun gameplay, and hopefully it becomes a full-fledged experience. So I like it. I'm going to wishlist this one. So first one I'm wishlisting for the night. I will add this to the chat for those of you right now who want this. Check that out. Okay. And next one is oh, this is okay. So this one's called Confidential Killings, which is basically a detective game, which sometimes is pretty cool too. I like that. So we'll see what this has to offer. Confidential Killings. Audio up. Let's go.
Everyone wants a piece of the spotlight. Some would kill for it. Rich men are dropping like flies. Their secrets with them. Accidents? No. It was a pattern. Threads weaving into something much darker. Truth is the deadliest game of all. Dare you unmask it?
All right. I mean, I wish I saw a little more. Is there another trailer? Let me see. No, it's just they do have a demo. Got some screenshots. I mean, I feel like a game like this could be okay, but I wish I saw just a little bit more to kind of get an idea about it. But all right, I think I'll wishlist it and kind of follow up on that and see what's going on with it as it gets closer to release. Apparently, it's coming out tomorrow, supposedly. So, but there is a demo available. I linked it in the chat right now. You can check it out. All right, this one, hey, this one's going to be good for you guys in the chat. This one's called Isekai Adventure Guild for the people who like elves are the best isekai girls. Check this out. Isekai Adventure Guild. I love how people scream cards every time they see them. It's like so funny. Listen, I can like the art style, and I think the music's okay, but the gameplay, I don't know, man. It doesn't like scream to me. I'm not really like super into it personally, but I can see why people would like something like this. But I do like the art style a little bit, and the music's pretty good too. But no, this one's not for me personally. But I will link it in the chat for those of you that might be interested in Isekai Adventure Guild. Put it in the chat right now. Here we go. Yeah, it's like classic tactics RPG, but I feel like it's going to be missing the depth, if that makes sense, you know? All right, last one up is called Hank Drowning on Dry Land, which looked pretty crazy. Hank Drowning on Dry Land. See what's this about.
Wake up. We don't have all day.
That's where you're wrong.
This shit's insane, bro. It's like it's basically a platformer, or I believe like a side scroller, but a side scroller where you're in charge of time. Like you can control time, you could go back in time or whatever. Bro, somebody was really high when they made this game. Like, really high. And apparently you can utilize time to essentially control two different Hanks. So, I don't know, man. This is, like I said, this looked crazy to me. I was like, I got to see what this is about. But again, I think from a gameplay perspective, I'm probably checked out on it. The art style's crazy enough where I was like, you know what? Maybe, but gameplay wise, I'm like, I think I'm all right. I think I'm all right. But regardless, I'm gonna link it in the chat right now for you guys if you want to check it out. Let me put it here and put it in the Rumble. All right, that's it for the Indie Showcase, ladies and gentlemen. Speedy Cake with a 5 says, so games done quick is now games done queer. Basically. Essentially. Fentanyl Zombie Felicia with a bro.
Holy shit.
How did you make it account so fast? Bro, oh my God. How did you? People are way too fast, bro. They're way too fast, man. What the fuck? Can I waifu battle? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What the fuck? Oh, shit. That is next level insanity. That's way too fast, man. Deidre Connick gifted a membership over on Rumble. Shout out to Deidre Connick. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Holding it down with the memberships on Rumble, man. We got to help with the memberships on Rumble. All right, let's get into the content. First things up is going to be about, let's talk about The Sims. Let's talk about The Sims because The Sims is something that gets brought up every couple of months now where people want to, I don't really know what it is, man. I don't really know what it is. I don't understand the fear that people have regarding The Sims. I don't get the desire and the need for Sims to be that ideologically driven game. I understand that Sims has always been this way for the most part, and it just gets worse and worse as time goes on. And it's fine, whatever. That's their game. They can have fun with The Sims. I'm not a Sims player, but Full Metal says what? Sims isn't gay enough? No, it's not about being gay enough. It's about maintaining the gay, right? So what it is, let me give you some backstory for those of you that might have just came in. Maybe you weren't in the beginning of the stream. The backstory is that EA is being bought out by Saudi Arabia. Okay. And the deal, for the most part, is in the final stages of being approved, right? Like the deal is going to be approved as long as the US government allows it to happen, right? So players of The Sims have been making their voices heard in terms of their concern about the potential removal of diversity, equity, and inclusion content, if you want to put it like that, DEI content inside The Sims, because The Sims is known for a lot of their DEI oriented stuff. You know, like The Sims was one of the first games ever to introduce trans cars, which, by the way, it was introduced by the same director that made Dragon Age the Veilguard that also had trans cars. So, you know, just put the two and two together at that point. But anyway, so The Sims has been known for having that level of content. And the players that are, I guess, all about that, they're very desperate to make sure that remains the way that it is, right? So once the Saudi deal got announced, these players thought, oh my God, all of that's going to go away. Because obviously they think that if the Saudis get in charge of EA, then all the DEI stuff is going to go away. Which, to be honest with you, I feel like that's a pretty fair assessment, considering that they're buying the company and taking it private, which means they're going to have no idea what the fuck is going to be going on. They're going to have no idea, right? Because the company is not going to have to answer to any investors, any shareholders, none of that shit. It's going to be a massacre. The moment that company goes private, it is going to be a massacre, right? At least from a layoff standpoint. So nobody's going to know what's going to happen. So the panic is pretty real. Now, the damage control is at its maximum, right? Hold on. Had to cough real quick. The damage control is at its maximum, where they're doing everything they can to ensure the players that everything's going to be the same. Now, to be fair, they're not just doing this with The Sims, but they're doing this majority with The Sims, because it seems like it's just the Sim players that are freaking out, right? Everybody's also saying that, oh, things are going to change for the other games, whatever, but they're not really as worried about it like The Sims. So we have this comment here over at Games Radar, and it says, The Sims has always been more than a game. Maxis says that its values aren't changing amid EA's buyout as it works on the next evolution of the series. The Sims team creative control, guided by our values of inclusivity, choice, creativity, community, and play, has not changed. Interesting. Here we go. Let's go. Where is it at? Right here. The life simulators working at Maxis have stressed that the developers behind The Sims are still committed to inclusivity, still maintain the same level of creative control, and are still focused on single player experiences with its next evolution as we head into the new year. The public statement and promises about the future were perhaps motivated by worries around EA's impending $55 billion buyout, which would see Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, Silver Lake, and Affinity Partners become private owners, leaving the publisher $20 billion in debt. As IGN previously reported, several The Sims 4 content creators quit EA's creative network in response to the news, citing long-term concerns about the values of the company's soon-to-be owners. So this is the level of meltdown that has been happening right now, where you have content creators that are specifically all about The Sims quitting the game that makes them money because of some sort of ideology confliction or something like that. Whatever, right? Yeah, the debt's pretty wild, man. $20 billion in debt starting off, that's pretty crazy. But anyway, I'm sure they're going to be fine. At least they think they are anyway. So with all these people quitting, it's pretty obvious that there has been a massive concern at the Sims level, and they are trying to convince everybody, no, don't quit. Everything's fine. We're still going to keep doing all the shit that we've been doing already. Maxis took to his blog to write the following. The Sims has always been more than just a game. It's a canvas for life in all its unpredictable forms, the chaotic moments, the tiny joys, the big dreams, every identity, every version of you. And thanks to you, The Sims has grown into something bigger than we ever imagined, a living world bursting with creativity, expression, humor, chaos, and heart. The studio goes on to say that the team's creative control, guided by our values of inclusivity, choice, creativity, community, and play, has not changed, promising that those values will continue into the future. Now, here's what I will say. As this all sounds really nice, right? This all sounds really nice, and it's corporate speak, and they're doing PR damage control. What I will tell you, for the people who are Sims players, if you are worried about DEI, what I will say is that you should probably be concerned, even if they're telling you not to be. Because here's the thing. Once this company goes private, guess what? Oh, it's over. Like, it's game on. Because they don't have to answer to anybody. Once they go private, they don't answer to anybody whatsoever, within reason, but they don't answer to anybody. So the moment they get control and those shareholders are paid and there is no longer any investors, that's it. If they want to fire you, you're gone. If they want to get rid of this shit, it's gone. So whatever's going to be in The Sims 5 is going to be from the Saudi perspective. So that could be woke, that could not be woke. I don't know. Who knows? But if you're thinking about potentially quitting because you think of, something's going to happen, then you might as well just quit, because at this point something probably will happen. Let it happen. Yeah, of course. Of course, you should probably just play Inzoi. They don't want to play Inzoi. They don't want to play Inzoi. They want to play The Sims because The Sims matches whatever they virtue signal with online. These people are not just content creators. A lot of them are activists as well. And they utilize The Sims to push whatever the hell they want to be pushing. And the truth is that The Sims is that kind of game. It just is. Right? The Sims has always had all of that shit in it. So to change it now does seem a little bit silly, because I feel like that kind of would go against whoever's still playing The Sims. Right? The Sims is one of those video games. It's kind of like Barbie was for the movies, where Barbie was so successful because women actually showed up to watch it. You know how Star Wars and all these other IPs that are male-focused have been pandering to women to get them to go watch the movies in the theaters, and the movies keep doing worse and worse and worse because women are just not showing up the way that they thought they were going to show up? Well, that wasn't the case for Barbie, because women actually wanted to show up, right? So it's the same thing with The Sims. They show up for The Sims, right? Whatever woke players that are left playing The Sims, they're showing up playing The Sims. They're showing up monetarily supporting the game. So to abandon them would probably be pretty stupid. I don't think that The Sims is going to necessarily be the kind of game that anybody else other than these kind of people are going to probably want to play. And anybody that may necessarily not be a woke psychopath but still plays The Sims, well, they're okay what's in the game because there's options for them, right? So I don't know. It's just one of those. It's one of those things, man. It's one of those things where, like, this particular game is a game that kind of does make all of their players happy. So to remove that aspect, I think you would be rocking the boat on this one. But we'll see anyway. People say just mod the game. Yeah, of course you could just mod the game, but a lot of people aren't modders. See, that's the thing. When people say just mod the game, I don't like that mindset, because number one, that means that you're leaving it up to the players to fix the problems. And that's very lazy on the development side of things. I feel like players should not be fixing problems. The developers should be fixing problems. And number two, for me, I'm not a modder. So, and other people who aren't modders. So if you're not a modder, then what, you just asked out? You're going to say, well, become a modder. I don't want to. Like it's not for me. So I don't know. This situation is it's a complex one. But I'll say this: the fact that they're freaking out about this, and the fact that they're making statements, posting on their blog and all kinds of shit about, oh, we promised the game's not going to change. I'm telling you right now, these people that are making these promises, they're probably not going to be around once Saudi Arabia gets their hands on EA. I'm telling you right now, it's probably not going to happen. So it's literally just empty promises from people that either are not going to be around for much longer, or people that are going to be around, but they're going to be held by a leash. So we'll see what ends up happening with The Sims, but that's just where we're at with that game. So we got the Gaming Wolf with 5 months. The only real competition for The Sims and EA now is Paralives. Paralives could be EA's real competition from an indie game team in Canada. Never heard of that. I've never heard of Paralives. Anybody heard of Paralives before? I haven't heard of that. Is that on Steam? Let me see. What the fuck is Paralives? Let's see. Paralives. Oh, it is on Steam. What the fuck is this? Oh my god, bro. Bro, I just know the women in the chat right now are going crazy. They're going crazy in the chat right now. Their cozy jeans inside their body are just bursting. They're bursting. They can't contain themselves. Bro, what the fuck is this? What am I looking at? Oh, shit. Wait a second. This is definitely for women. Wait. So now you could role play being emotional, crying on the bathroom floor, instead of actually being emotional and crying on the bathroom floor. Or you could do both. You could cry on the bathroom floor, and then you could go in the game and then pretend and be emotional about crying on the bathroom floor. And not only that, hold on. Not only that, but you could role play your favorite thing in life, which is to make every man fucking miserable. That is, look at this shit. This is amazing. This is amazing. This is top tier female content. You could role play the most favorite thing in the world for a woman to do, which is to make a man fucking miserable. This is insane. This is unbelievably accurate. Women are going to play the shit out of this. Women are going to, I'm telling you guys. Wow, this is going to be very successful. The Sims got nothing on this shit. Oh my God. Wow. This looks like a Latina yelling at her black boyfriend. They promised to be different from everybody else. I told you to stop fucking with that bitch. And you stay fucking with that bitch. Bitch. And he's like, yeah, no. But you love me. No, I told you, Tyrone, stop fucking with that bitch. I'm pregnant. It's crazy, man. Unbelievable. Holy fuck. I'm not even going to go back on that one. Oh, wait, gay relationship confirmed? Yo, they're hitting all, bro. Wow, this is great marketing. This is actually great marketing. I'm not going to lie to you. They're hitting all the points. Everything to get women to play. They're hitting all the points. Virtue signaling, emotions, making men miserable, buying shit nonstop, organizing your house in all kinds of ways that make no sense. This shit is amazing. Wow. Yeah, no, this is going to be a massive hit. This is going to be... Wait, the game came out already? December 8th, early access? Wait a second. Hold on. This game better be, like, massively successful. Hold on. Paralives. Let's see. Paralives. No, it's not out yet. It doesn't have any players. It's been postponed? Oh, okay. This I think this game's going to be a big hit. They pushed it back. Yeah. This game is gonna be a big hit. Absolutely. It's gonna destroy The Sims. Destroy The Sims, man. That's great. Oh my god. I'll never understand games like that. But you know what? That's fine. Listen, as I always say, if you enjoy games like that, just because I don't enjoy it doesn't mean that you can't play it. So good on you. It's all good. It's all good. All right. So this story is this is a little bit of a crazy story. We're going to talk about Apex Legends. All right. Apex Legends. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end with this. We have the resolution. We have everything, but we're going to cover it from the beginning. All right. So Apex Legends apparently got hacked, and it got hacked in a really bad way. Apparently, the hackers are able to take control of your actual character, which is fucking crazy. The hackers found a way to take control of your actual character. That is some next level shit, right? So there is a resolution to this. Apparently, they have fixed it, but we are gonna talk about the beginning of this, okay? So fans have taken to social media to cry out against the latest Apex Legends hack. The situation apparently was pretty dire, and a bad actor is utilizing an unknown exploit to control other players' characters in the Battle Royale game. This has led to Respawn making an official statement declaring an active security incident. In a 2-minute clip uploaded on social media, users get a first-hand look at the depth of the issue. In the video, a player is toyed with multiple times, with the hacker emptying their inventory and throwing them off the map. In a post on social media, the team at Respawn Entertainment wrote the following: "We are aware of an active security incident where a bad actor is able to control the inputs of another player remotely in Apex Legends." How crazy is that? Imagine you're playing a video game and all of a sudden somebody just takes control of your fucking character. Think about that. That's so insane. Now, keep in mind, this has happened before with Apex Legends. So this is now happening again after they said they fixed it the first time. So apparently they must not have fixed it, or people have found a way to do it again, right? That's why the article says that it happened again. Based on our initial investigation, we have not identified evidence that suggests the bad actors can install, execute code, as in the case of an RCE or injection attack. Had to cough, sorry. We are actively working on a solution and will update you when we have more information. This message was posted a few hours after a clip surfaced showcasing the exploit in question. This guy, Juicy, and this name is crazy, bro. Juicy Smoobs is a crazy name. Anyway. New Apex Legends remote access cheat. Someone took control of this account in this person in I's account in the same game 6 times, trying to pad me off the map and walk him off the map. All right, let's watch this.
Lock containment shitter. I'm gonna queue up on their height.
What? Oh, I blew up again.
I blew up.
Oh, Zool exploded.
I blew up.
Oh, come back, Phil. Don't drop your item.
I blew up.
All his items are gone. All his items are gone. All his items are gone.
No.
Everything's stop moving.
I'm not moving.
Still stop moving. Where are you going? Oh my god, you're off the map. You're off the map. You're off the map. You're dead. You just fucking ran off the map and died.
Bro, what is with the lack of testosterone in the voice, bro? What the fuck is like? Oh my god. Anyway, you can clearly see he threw all the items, and he suicided off the map.
Died. Oh, I blew up again.
I blew up.
Oh, Zool exploded.
I blew up.
Come back.
I blew up.
All his items are gone. All his items are gone. All his items are gone. Everything's stop moving.
I'm not moving.
Oh my god, you're off the map. You're off the map. You're off the map. You're dead. You just fucking ran off the map and died.
Containment shitters. I'm gonna queue up on their height.
Oh,
So this is them trying again.
up again.
I blew up. I blew up.
98.
Oh, Zool exploded.
I blew up.
Oh, come back, Phil. Don't drop
I
your
blew
items.
up.
All his items are gone. All his items are gone. All his items are gone.
Literally frozen. The guy's frozen.
Everything's stop moving.
I'm not moving.
Oh my god, you're off the map. You're off the map. You're off the
And
map.
got kicked off.
You just fucking ran off the map and died.
Dude.
There's no way.
Fucking idiot.
It's dying again.
This
It's
game
dying
broke
again.
again?
It's dying again. Answers your question, bro. Yes. That game's been fucking lagging.
He keeps getting kicked off. So, an absolute mess, right? This is a massive mess in Apex. And again, this is far from being the first major hacking incident to hit Apex Legends. One of the oldest and most popular battle royale games on the market in January of 25. Some of the most notable pro players had their accounts hijacked. And in March of 24, the Apex Legends Global Series was taken over by malicious operators during a live broadcast. And the hack was very similar to this one. So that's what happened previously, where they took over someone's account. And yeah, it was just wild. Anyway, so fans are obviously pissed. People are going crazy about it. And now we have a resolution, supposedly, if you want to believe it. So it says update. At the same time, in the same minute as this article was posted, the Apex Legends team gave an update confirming that the resolution of this issue. And they said this incident is now resolved with the help of our community. Anti-cheat is a constant cat and mouse game, and your reports are imperative to bringing information to our attention, including the one that helped us today. Thank you for your patience as our teams jump to tackle and resolve this issue. You guys really think this is solved, though? You guys like? Do you really think this is going to not come back? Think about this. This has happened multiple times within a year's time, right? Less than a year's time, if you really think about it. But let's just say about a year's time. I don't really think this is solved. I think this is probably going to come back. And it's just they're basically relying on people not doing this often enough to make it into a big deal. I guarantee you, if this hack were to spread, like widespread, and people were getting their characters constantly taken over instead of just a one-off situation, then they would have to acknowledge it as something bigger than they're actually trying to make it seem. Yeah, it's a Band-Aid. Yeah, that's all it is. It's a Band-Aid. And they know it's a Band-Aid. You know what they probably did? They probably just banned the guy who was doing it. That's probably what they did. They probably banned the guy who was doing it, either gave him a hardware ban or an IP ban or something like that. And they're hoping that that's enough, basically. So we'll follow up with this in case anything does happen again, considering what's happening with Rainbow Six Siege and how many times that game has gotten fucking hacked recently. I wouldn't be surprised if Apex is not that far behind. So we'll see what ends up happening with this. Let's move on from this. Any super chats to catch up on? Hold on. Yes, there are. We got Tanya Ravenwood of 2 says, can I be in the waifu battle? I'll be good. Nope. Not at all. Tanya Raven 7 months says 7 months. It seems like forever. Ooh, woo. 7 months is a long time, Tanya. I appreciate the support. That's insane. That's a long, long time. All right, let's get into the next topic. Let's X this out really quick. We're going to cover some fast topics before we get into the next one. But Warhammer World. I don't know if you guys are aware too much about Warhammer World. But Games Workshop is starting to work on a US-based Warhammer World. For those enthralled by the Warhammer universe, a Warhammer World can be coming to the United States within the next 2 years. Games Workshop announced on their website that they have begun working on the second Warhammer World just outside of Washington, D.C. Damn, I hope nobody fucking constantly breaks into this shit and steals from them. Warhammer World in the U.S. won't be a full-blown recreation of the Nottingham location. The original Warhammer World first opened in England in 1999. It is currently the ultimate destination for Warhammer fans, featuring a dedicated shop, dioramas on display in the Warhammer Museum, and more. On their website, they noted that the future American Warhammer World won't be a brick-by-brick recreation of the original. However, they hope to create something special for Americans passionate about the Warhammer hobby. I mean, here's what I'll say. I think that sounds cool. I know a lot of people have issues with what Warhammer's been doing with their lore and shit lately, but I know Warhammer at the end of the day is pretty massive, and a lot of people enjoy the hobby. Obviously, you guys know I'm not really the tabletop player, but I'm more so the game player. Like, I love a lot of the video games. I have showcased that many times on my channel, and ultimately, you know, I just want more video games personally. I think Warhammer is probably one of the most fleshed out franchises, especially Warhammer 40K. Is one of the most fleshed out franchises in terms of video games where they have a game for almost everybody. They have a game for literally almost everybody. But anyway, they said that based just outside Washington, D.C., this new Warhammer World will be a flagship venue that celebrates Warhammer in all its forms: gaming, painting, modeling, storytelling, events, and community. So if they're going to have gaming in there as well, that sounds pretty interesting. I don't really know how far they're going to go with that. I feel like it's going to be more focused on the modeling and the, statues and all that shit and painting especially. But but it sounds like something that would be pretty cool to experience. But, you know, it depends on what you're into, right? I think if you're into more of it casually, you might enjoy it. But the people that are hardcore about it, if they're still upset about the lore changes, then perhaps they might not want to partake in that. It says that as for the video game side of Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 3 is currently in development, which, by the way, I'm super excited about. I'm very excited about that. But there are still free updates planned for Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 later this year, which, again, that's awesome that they're putting out free updates. I honestly cannot wait for Warhammer 40K Space Marine 3. You guys know how much I love Space Marine 2. Can't wait for it. So I just wanted to bring this up to you guys. Fast topic, nothing crazy. Let's get to the next one. Oh, okay, here we go. So for people that are curious about Blood of the Dawnwalker, if you were curious about whether or not there's going to be relationships in the game, I don't give a fuck about that. But if you're curious about that, there has been confirmation finally that there is going to be romance in Blood of the Dawnwalker. So you're going to be able to have relationships with the characters that are in the game. Whether or not that means it's going to be ultra gay, minor gay, no gay, straight only. Yeah, right. Who's kidding that? But still, like, they're confirming that there's going to be romance in the game. Now, me personally, again, I don't give a fuck. I don't play these RPGs to romance my characters. I've said that so many times. I can't even, like, again, repeat it as many times as possible. But I know other people are more serious about it. Other people take that more seriously in general. So if you're ever curious about it, well, now you know that there is going to be romance in Blood of the Dawnwalker. So prepare to have gay vampires. Your Twilight fantasy is going to come true. Former Assassin's Creed director said something interesting that I wanted to cover as well in a fast topic. Elizabeth says, I love it. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Everybody has their stuff. Former Assassin's Creed director doesn't think that the current way of making big budget games is tenable. I think the future lies in smaller teams. You know, I think it's hilarious that these big AAA developers are actually pushing this, indie is so important narrative now that it seems like, you know, I guess it's safe to do so. I really don't know, but they're pushing all of this, like, indie is so important bullshit. And it's so funny because I know there are smaller scale Assassin's Creed video games. Like, I know there are the smaller scale, like, side-scrolling Assassin's Creed games. But even the smallest scale Assassin's Creed game is still way bigger of a budget than any actual indie game, right? By a long shot. So I don't know if they're trying to, like, how do I put it? If they're trying to, like, jump on the bandwagon and try to say, yeah, smaller teams are so much better. Bro, the future has always been in the eyes of the people who have a small knit team. Because I always believe that small knit teams do a much better job than massive teams do, right? Because with bigger teams comes more chaos. There's too many people that are trying to be the leader. There's too many ideologies going in at once. Not enough people doing actual work. I hate that shit. They got beat, so now they're coping. Yeah, maybe. That's probably it. There's this theory that says that whenever humans create something that surpasses 100 people, it completely changes the dynamic of it. It's no secret that major studios are struggling to put out successful games. Between increasing development turnarounds, ballooning budgets, cancellations, mass layoffs, the industry is finding it harder to reliably bring projects to conclusion, leading to fewer blockbusters coming out each year. Yeah, but whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? You know, the journalists, they're only going to cover the faults that they agree with. They're never going to cover the faults that they don't agree with, right? So they say various reasons have been aired for these problems, ranging from over-eager profit chasing to mismanagement and the malign influence of private equity, alongside broader market influences like audiences playing fewer newer games. So that's all the issues that they mentioned. Nothing about the way that the developers treat people, nothing about the way that activism has taken over the industry, and that the mindset of these developers and how they talk to people, how they attack people openly, how most of them seem like they don't even want to be where they're working. I feel like that's a big thing, right? All these developers literally act as if they don't want to be where they're working. The amount of times these developers, community managers, all these people have complained about gamers, chuds, this, that, whatever. It's like, bro, you guys don't even look like you want to be here, right? Imagine watching a live stream of someone who doesn't look like he actually wants to be live streaming. Can you imagine how fucking boring that would actually be? Imagine watching someone with zero energy and they're like, yeah, guys, give me money, but I really just don't care, to be here. I don't care to entertain. Like, imagine that shit. Imagine, like, bro, that's how these developers come off. They come off as people that don't actually want to be making games for their fans whatsoever. They act like they're making these games because they have a gun to their fucking head. It really is fucking stupid. It's unbelievable. So when you act like that, of course people are going to check out. Of course people are going to be like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care to want to support you. I don't care how good it was back then. They constantly try to sell you on the idea of nostalgia. They constantly try to sell you on the better times where you have like, what's the best? I guess the best example of this would probably be Bungie. Right? Bungie is probably the best example of why they have, why they constantly rely on nostalgia. How many times does Bungie bring up the fact that, like, oh, the creators of Halo, you know what I mean? From the creators of Halo come this random piece of shit game that you're not going to care about. From the creators of Halo come this amazing, unbelievable video game that looks like complete trash. It's constantly relying on nostalgia. Delusional said, is that why Smash hasn't been on SNH? Oh my God, bro. Guys, how many times do I get this question? Smash hasn't been on SNH for almost 2 months, and we still get the same question all the time. All the fucking time. So this is what they do. They rely on this kind of marketing, and they think that that's going to take over for their lack of care now. It's like everybody could see that you guys don't care. Everybody can see that you're putting in the minimal effort to get this project out there. Right? It's so obvious. Anyway, so speaking to games industry, Amancio, who directed both Assassin's Creed Unity and Revelations, said that the sheer size of modern development teams make both sustainability and innovation extremely difficult. I mean, guys, Assassin's Creed Shadows, right, had a credits list of almost 3,000 people. You guys remember that? Remember how the credit list went viral on social media, on I think it was on X, where I think Stuttering Craig ended up posting, what was it, like 2 hours long or something like that? It was fucking ridiculous, bro. Almost 3,000 people. 3,000 people touched something on Assassin's Creed Shadows. It really is truly fucking ridiculous, right? So now keep in mind, a lot of that work is outsourced work, but the main team on Assassin's Creed Shadows was not a small team. It was still hundreds of people. So when you are that size, at the end of the day, there is no way that you are going to be able to have a level of direction that is necessary to get a game out there with any kind of actual coordination. There's too many fucking chiefs. There is too many chiefs. That's really, yeah, exactly. Actually, Mr. Melancholy said something similar. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Same thing. Too many chiefs. So that's a major issue with this. So to say I think the future lies in smaller teams, it's not even just the future. It's in general. It's always been that way. Smaller teams have been able to come out with something magical for years now. And with AI, guess what's going to happen? They're going to be more equipped than they ever were. The smaller teams that know how to utilize AI and utilize it to help them do things they were not capable of doing before, it is going to be night and day. It is already becoming difficult to see the difference between what you think is an indie game and what you think is a AAA game. It's becoming very hard to see the difference. I've seen some indie games that blow my mind. That looking at it, I immediately think, I'm like, is that indie? The idea of what an indie is and what it's not is completely changing. And they know this. So time is going to tell whether or not AAA continues the way that they're going. I think there always is going to be that blockbuster game, right? Like Rockstar is not going anywhere. Rockstar spent $2 billion on GTA 6. It's unbelievable, right? Those kind of companies, they're not going anywhere. But the smaller scale AAA studios, I think a lot of them are going to downsize to much smaller teams. And to be honest with you, I think that can help them in the future. The ones that know how to utilize that downsizing correctly. if you downsize just to downsize in order to save your payroll, well, that's only going to last you so long. You know? So, I don't know. We'll see. Major game studios are too big. Yeah, well, you say they're too big, but all right, for example, like Microsoft. Obviously, Microsoft is not just Xbox. But Microsoft fired, like, what was it, 11,000 people? Of which the majority of them were from the gaming division. And now there's rumors that in 2026, Microsoft is going to fire more than 10,000 people again. They're firing people left and right. Amazon's firing people left and right. All these companies, tech companies, firing people left and right. It is a bloodbath out there. I feel like they could downsize for the next 5 years and they'll still be too big of a studio or too big of a company. You know, we need a new Minecraft innovator. Fun fact, Notch is actually making another game. We don't know what kind of game it is, but he's been working on another game for a while. So we'll see if he can strike gold twice, but we're not sure. So hold on. So yeah, he's making another game supposedly, or working on another game, whatever. Anyway, too much bloat. Yeah, of course, there's too much bloat. That's how the gaming industry is. All right, let's get out of this. Let's go to aha. This is a funny one. Okay, really quick. You guys know who Tim Kaine is? You guys know who Tim Kaine is? Tim Kaine, the essentially like the one of the original Fallout leads. So Tim Kaine said something recently that I've been saying for the longest time. Okay. Tim Kaine also has a YouTube channel where he kind of just, you know, talks his shit or whatever. But he said something here that I really want to kind of focus on because it's something that we talk about all the time. So one of the things that gets said about gaming is that gaming is so negative now. Right? Gaming is so negative now. Oh my God, there's so many right-wing chuds. Everybody's so negative. Nobody just wants to talk about the games. Everybody's blah, blah, whatever bullshit, right? Even though that's not true. But anyway. So that is something that gets said all the time. Well, now, the beautiful thing about that is that even Tim Kaine has come out and said in his own, you know, lefty way, he said that vitriol around video games has always been around, but that apparently it's more hostile these days. I see a lot of people arguing past each other, even if that means denying that the other group even exists. Okay? So I agree with this to an extent. You guys know, like early in the stream, I talked about how social media is basically a cesspool now. It's basically people on multiple sides arguing purposely, they're purposely misunderstanding what the other person is saying just so they could keep the arguing going because they don't want to admit that the other person might have a point. So they purposely just keep doing it over and over and over again. So I agree with that. But one thing that I've always said so many times when it comes to gaming is that if you have somebody who's in gaming now, and a lot of journalists do this, a lot of YouTuber shills do this, they'll talk about how gaming is so toxic now, how gaming is so negative now, that it was never like that before, that gamers never fought like that before, blah, blah, whatever. That is bullshit. That is bullshit. That has never been true, ever. If you've been around gaming for as long as I have been, you would realize that that statement is not fucking true. Gamers have been arguing and fighting for decades. We've been arguing over all kinds of shit. There's been all kinds of bullshit in MMORPGs that I've partaken. Like, it is literally all like that is such a nonsensical statement, right? So this is why anytime I've seen people say this, I'm like, bro, you clearly have not been gaming for a long enough time. And if you have been, then I don't know if you have like this revisionist history, or maybe you just never partaked in like the conversation at hand. But we've been arguing for fucking decades, bro. Literal decades. And you guys know one of my favorite examples is the whole casual versus hardcore argument that happens even till this day. That started really big in World of Warcraft and then kind of, you know, took its way through the entire gaming industry at that point. But World of Warcraft, when it first came out, was trying to mimic the EverQuest model while making the leveling system more attractive to casuals. That was really their strategy. Their strategy was the end game rating in EverQuest was so amazing. We want to mimic that, make it bigger, make it greater, make it grander, make it more fun. But we want to keep it hardcore. But the leveling system was really bad or really hardcore in EverQuest. So we want to casualize the leveling system so that more people could get max level. And that way they could get into the ratings, you know, all that shit. And once people were hitting max level, they felt like they were bait and switched. And they were like, well, the leveling system's very casual. I don't need to group up to level. I could do it all myself. So what the fuck is all this hardcore rating at the end game? I can't progress past leveling at all without joining a 40-man guild. You know what I mean? Like that's what was going on back then. Right? That's what was going on back then. So this whole situation, I love that he said this, even though he worded it in his own way, which is fine, whatever. I love that he said this because he's been around for a long time. Tim Kaine is one of the OGs when it comes to Fallout. So he's been around for a very long time. And even he is saying what I've been saying, which is it's always been like this, bro. Gaming has always been like this. It'll always be like this. And it'll never change. The only difference now is that people have more eyes on it because of social media. Because before, you had to be a hardcore gamer to really see all of this arguing. You had to be on the forums. You had to be taking part in the conversation. If there were forums, whatever, blogs, websites. Now, social media, everybody can see everything. So that's really what it is. Everybody can see everything. Now it's so easily accessible. So now it seems like more people are arguing, when really it's just more people are aware of the arguing. That's really all it is. So yeah, I thought this was a good statement. Let me look at some of the comments here. Steve the Link says, I remember getting trashed back in school circa 2002 for playing Kingdom Hearts because it was a Disney game. Oh my God, me too. Oh my God, me too, bro. I remember that. I remember reading in a magazine. About Kingdom Hearts, right? It was on the cover. I forgot what it was. It might have been Game Informer. I don't remember. But I remember reading a magazine on the cover of Kingdom Hearts. And I remember people saying, "Oh, that's a gay Disney game." I remember seeing that. They were like, "What the fuck is that Disney game?" They called it, yeah, exactly, yeah, Yamato, bro. See, he backs me up. Yamato, they called it gay. They really did. They were like, "What the fuck is that gay Disney game?" And then the game comes out and it starts getting crazy press, and people start playing the game and they realize, oh, there's a lot more to it than just a Disney game. And then it became one of the bigger IPs, right? Cryptic Manga says it's still gay. All right, bro. Relax. Yeah, so like people, like this shit has been happening for so long, man. And this is why I laugh whenever people were like, oh, gaming is so negative and toxic now. Bro, it's just gaming talk. This is how it's been forever. And if you don't know what it's like, or you don't like the way that it is, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you should probably just stay away from social media. The chat's about to fight. I know. It's going to be Kingdom Hearts lovers versus Kingdom Hearts haters. It's all right, though. I'm not going to censor the fight. Yeah, exactly. Old Call of Duty lobbies with the language they were. Yeah, of course. Of course. So that's basically it with this particular topic. I just thought it was interesting, and I wanted to share it with you. The Gaming Wolf says, yeah, remember the forum days, Hippo? Yes, I used to be on the Blizzard forums all the time. All the fucking time. Right? I was one of the top PvPers on my server. I was in, what is it called? I was in, not World First, but I was in Server First raid guilds all the way up to Wrath of the Lich King. I took that shit so nerdy serious, it's not even funny. It's not even funny, bro. And then after Wrath of the Lich King, I was like, you know what, man, it's pretty gay. Mr. Pandaria is pretty gay. I'm good. You know? Did you ever play private servers? I did play on a private server. I don't remember the name of the private server, but I remember dabbling in the private server. I remember having a mage that did like, I don't know, 2 million crit or something like that. It's fucking crazy. But I didn't really play around on a private server too much. I was too busy on the main server farming PvP. So, all right, let's get out of this. Where am I at? We got... Oh, really quick shout out. Talking about indie games. Quick shout out to the Peak developers. This is pretty funny. Steve the Lake says, "Dear God, what have I done?" You started the fight. Steve, you started the fight. Now you got to deal with it. You got to deal with this, Steve. Have fun. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but Steam has a rule, like an unofficial rule, where if you release a video game that does a little over $800,000 in profit, they'll basically send you a Forrest Gump box of chocolates and say, like, good job making us money and buying Gabe another yacht, right? That's essentially what they'll do. And so the Peak developers were apparently very jealous about that. They were very jealous, and they watched their Slay the Spire office people who got the chocolate. They used to watch their co-workers get the chocolate, and they didn't get it because they weren't as successful. So they said every fucking year they got the chocolates that we didn't get. Valve gives a box of sweets to Steam's biggest breadwinners every year. And the Peak developers finally got one after years of jealousy, which is pretty funny. What's the best part of making $800,000 in video game sales on Steam in a single year? You might think it's the money, but it's not. It's actually the free chocolate that you get from Valve for making all that money on its platform. Games Radar noted on this that it's a video on YouTube where games marketing consultant Chris talks about Valve's coveted chocolate tier, a special class of studios that once they get up to around $800,000 in annual revenue, receive a box of fancy chocolates as a gift from Valve at the end of the year. He also mentioned an interview with GameFowl conducted with the Peak developer Aggro Crab. Co-founder Nick Kamen confirmed Aggro Crab has been itching to join the chocolate chowing inner circle since it released Another Crab's Treasure, its most successful game before Peak. The team did not receive a gift from Valve in 2024, despite pulling in the right amount of cash from that game, which stung. But then Kamen emailed Valve about it. He got an apology. The team's unrest was compounded by the fact that Aggro Crab shares a building with Megacrit, the Slay the Spire developer, and as you might expect, that team has gotten chocolate year after year. Kamen expressed his unrest. Every year they got fucking chocolates that we didn't get. Of course, Peak smashed the sales charts in 2025, and Aggro Crab finally got their candy after all. As it turns out, victory tastes sweet and has a caramel center. That's amazing. That's amazing. So instead of complaining, they just got better. And they're like, we're going to get this fucking chocolate. That's a winner's mindset. That's a winner's mindset. And that's why they are as successful as they are. The chocolate cake is a lie? Apparently not. I heard that there's some damn good chocolates. They must be. Can you imagine getting chocolate from Gabe? Can you imagine what it must be like to get chocolate from fucking Gabe, bro? Like, does it even come in a Steam box? It's pretty crazy. Chocolate Gate? Are we calling it Chocolate Gate now? That really is learning from defeat. It is. It really is. I thought that was a funny story. All right, guys. Last topic. So Diablo 4 has changed quite a bit since it released. I still don't think it's a great Diablo game, ultimately, although I did play the most recent patch to try out the Paladin. And, the Paladin's the Paladin. You do your hammer didn't build. You start throwing hammers around yourself and all that stuff. It's pretty typical. Whatever. But there is one big change that has officially come or is coming to Diablo 4 that a lot of people are talking about on social media right now. And that is none other than official leaderboards. Now, I got to be honest with you. Diablo 4 having official leaderboards, I don't know how I feel about that. Because, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be completely taken over by cheaters. Every time I see official leaderboards come to any video game, they're almost always taken over by cheaters. Now, I think Blizzard will ban those people quicker than some other studios would. But I just don't know if I like the idea. And I wonder if you get anything for topping the leaderboard. Let me see. After years for asking for it, Diablo 4 players are finally getting leaderboards and a new mode to go with them in its next update. Blizzard calls it the Tower, and it's coming in patch on January 12th, so that's tomorrow, as a beta mode that promises to improve over time. It's basically a multi-level dungeon where you slay monsters for a high score, leveraging both speed and power to clear your way to a final boss. Diablo 3 players will recognize this format as an updated version of Greater Rifts, a super endgame mode for players who are pretty much done perfecting their builds. To even the playing field, there are pylons scattered throughout the tower that give you a big boost in damage when you destroy them. We don't know, we won't know until it comes out if they're worth playing around, but I think it's Blizzard's way of giving less than optimal builds a chance to compete with people who adhere to the meta. I guess this is like what it's going to look like. Solo Necromancer ladder. Leaderboards have been an important part of action RPG since Diablo 2. In a genre about becoming a demon-slaying god, it can be fun to see how you match up against other players. So, is this going to be like, is Elon Musk going to take part in this? Is he going to pay someone to get to the top of the leaderboard? I'm very curious. With the introduction of Paladins this season, the balance among classes have been a little lopsided. The Paladins are really OP. So it's a D3 ladder, basically. The Paladins are really OP. I don't know if you guys have played Diablo 4 with the Paladin update, but every fucking build of Paladin is S tier. Pretty much at this point. Of course, they're going to get nerfed. It's only a matter of time. But every build is S tier. It's crazy. I ended up researching some of the builds just to see, and literally every one is S tier. It's crazy. The cheaters will enter and take the accounts. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about cheaters going at the top of the leaderboards. I wonder what Blizzard's counter is going to be to that. Blizzard made a smart decision to run the leaderboard rankings for 2-week periods instead of for the entire 3-month season. That way, if some absurdly broken exploit happens to be siloed to one of the set ranks before it's fixed, it's being very transparent about the tower not being considered finished. So I expect some wonky stuff to pop up as players dive in. With the expansion coming in April, there will surely be plenty more to test when the second new class arrives too. Yeah, so this whole thing is going to be completely fucked for the beginning, I imagine. I wouldn't... See, here's the thing about leaderboards. And this is the problem that I have with leaderboards, right? So leaderboards are... Sorry, hold on. So leaderboards are meant to be taken seriously. If at any point leaderboards can't be taken seriously, they lose their luster. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So if you can't take leaderboards seriously, then people are not going to want to do them. If they lose their validity, people are not going to want to do them. And after a certain point, if they continue to keep losing their validity, then nobody's gonna care about them. That's basically how I view it. This one already lost its luster. I don't know about that. Gotta wait for it to come out before we can say that. But I think it will lose its luster really quick if they don't actually release it in any way that's going to be at least permanent validity. Right now, it seems like they're releasing it in a beta mode. So it's going to be all kinds of fucked for a few weeks. And that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. I don't know. I hope that it's good. I don't care about leaderboards personally, but I know a lot of people that do. And those people will give up real quick if these leaderboards end up being completely broken at the time of releasing it. So we'll see. Too seriously, in fact, it's scary how people get to compete. Yeah, no, it is. Yo, actually, Benjamin, where are we at? Right here. Benjamin's 100% spot on. It's crazy how serious people take this shit. That's why I'm saying, like, if you're going to release a leaderboard, then you better expect the scrutiny that comes with that. The amount of people that are going to go crazy over this shit, it's going to be wild. So that's why I'd rather they not release it in beta and really take their time with it. But I guess releasing it in beta gives them an excuse. I don't know. Probably will be hackers' love interest. Maybe. Maybe. Benjamin says, I hope the leaderboard isn't broken, or worse, it breaks other parts of the game. I don't know how it's going to break other parts of the game. But you know what is going to happen? And I'm calling it right now. These leaderboards are going to be what developers use to balance the game. Flat out. So every fun build that makes it to the top of the leaderboard, if there's too many of them in the top of the leaderboard, that build is going to get nerfed. Plain and simple. if a build is not even able to make it in the leaderboard, then it's going to get buffed. And before you know it, it's going to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's all the same, basically, is what I'm saying. That's what I think is going to happen here. Because that's what they use these leaderboards for. They use it as a balancing sheet. They say, okay, well, top 10 is all paladins. What does that tell us? We got to nerf paladins. You know? That's what's going to happen here. So, we'll see what ends up. Homogenized. That's what I'm looking for. Thank you. Homogenized. Thank you, Nosperk. I appreciate that. Everything's going to become homogenized once these leaderboards start showing which classes are constantly topping the leaderboards. Yeah, exactly. So, we'll see what ends up happening with this. But as a Diablo 4 player, I will definitely keep my eye on that. All right, let's catch up on any super chats that we might have missed. We got Hornstar for 12 months saying absolutely nothing. Appreciate that, man. Thank you, Hornstar. 12 months, legendary status. Mr. Spanglish, 199, Hanata, pre-waifu chat. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. Denarai with a 5 back in the day. 30 nerds, gay or straight, can make incredible games. Now 50% of the game studios are staffed by HR, DEI, and layers of bureaucracy. Yep, you are right. You are absolutely right. There is way too much fucking bloat in the gaming industry. Way too much. I think you could fire, like you said, 50% of developers across the board and still have too many. Kagami with a 20. You like Kingdom Hearts? I got news for you. Oh, come on, man. Really? Beautiful Zaxo with a 2. The only gay thing about Kingdom Hearts is Kingdom Hearts 3. That's fair. Cryptid Manga with a 2. Insert Tifa Cleanse. It's coming, don't worry. Adair Soto with a 2. Gabe has become the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. Maybe Willy Wonka was becoming what Gabe was what Gabe was already. There you go. That's what I meant to say. Gabe is the original Willy Wonka. We just didn't know it yet. Or maybe Gabe is taking over for Willy Wonka after Willy Wonka retired. Maybe Gabe was one of those kids that won the golden ticket. That's a whole new conspiracy. All right, let's check Rumble. Rumble, we got anything? What's Rumble doing? Genetic Spore for $1. Imagine a game dev has only straight relationships, and when the alphabet community cries, the dev tells him, shut the fuck up. Fun fact. You know what? Let me bring it up so that you guys can see it. Fun fact, that is happening. That is actually a real thing. And I will bring it up right now. Let me see. Let me find him right now. Hold on. Can I find him? Come on, where is he at? Why is it not coming up? Oh my god. I forgot the guy's name, man. I forgot the guy's name. Shit. Hold on. Indie game. Let me see if I can find it this way. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Ah, got it. Okay, Arter. Arter, got it. All right, got it. Shout out to Arter. So, he's an indie developer. Okay. Arter is an indie developer behind the game Soul Ash. Okay. That's the game Soul Ash right here. And Arter has gotten nonstop hatred for over a year. He has people review bombing his game on Steam because he made a game called Soul Ash and he did not put gay relationships in the game because he has a family system in the game. And in order to have a family system in the game, you kind of have to have a straight relationship, especially since it's based in a time that didn't have any kind of artificial insemination or any kind of like childhood capabilities for gay relationships. So he has only straight relationships in this game. And he explained that to people, why that is. And he gets a whole bunch of reviews like this. Bullshit reviews, by the way. right? They're all bullshit reviews. This person says, bought this over Christmas. Decided to give it a spin. And while it was loading, I decided to look at the reviews. Since I noticed they had dipped recently. Despite that, I saw a lot of positive ones were calling the dev based for standing up to the left, which set off some alarm bells. Decided to look up the developer, and sadly, it seems they're the kind of person that spreads anti-LGBTQ hate online and has been riding the anti-woke cancel culture gravy train for a while to boost their game. He said body type 1 and 2 is communist propaganda, apparently. The dev has also responded personally in a pretty immature and hateful way to some of the negative reviews expressing their concerns. Again, there is nothing hateful or immature about telling people I don't have gay relationships in my game because of the way that I designed my game. Like, that's my choice. That's not immature at all. And you're not really concerned. This is what I mean. This is what I mean by people online when they have discourse that they don't actually want to have, right? They're not trying to have discourse. They're not trying to tell you about a legitimate concern. They're just trying to paint you as a fucking Nazi. And they'll do everything they can to pretend like they don't understand where you're coming from so that they can continue to paint you as a Nazi. That's really it. He played this game for 0.1 hours and refunded the game. He says, I don't need to agree on everything a dev does. So then why are you here doing this? They don't need to be a perfect saint, but I do ask that they don't pander to the terminally online, hateful crowd. That's projection, by the way, because this person is terminally online and they're part of a hateful crowd. And demonize people who are just trying to live their life. He's not demonizing them. He's literally not demonizing them. He just explained that gay people cannot have children in this time period. That's a fair assessment. I just want to play a game without worrying about my purchase is tactic support for that kind of thing. So you do actually need to agree with all the developers then. Is that what I'm understanding? You just said you don't need to agree with everything they say and do, but here you are saying you don't want your money going to somebody who disagrees with your politics. When it's not even a political decision. I just want to play a game without worrying that my purchase is supporting that. I guess that's why I'm leaving this review. I wouldn't have known if I haven't been for other reviewers. So just hoping to contribute so others can make an informed decision. There are plenty of weird, deep simulation RPG and roguelike games out there who haven't made being anti-woke their whole identity. It's so amazing. So again, this is them purposely trying to misunderstand the situation or misrepresent it. They're saying that he made anti-woke being his whole identity. Meanwhile, all he did was put out a game, and you guys made it your entire identity to attack his game for not having gay relationships in it, thus forcing him to constantly fight against it. Thus, kind of like, what is that called? A self-fulfilling prophecy. There you go. That's what I mean. So you claim that he is one thing, and then you force him to be that thing, and then you attack him for being that thing because you want a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's really what it is. That's all that it is. That's all that it ever will be. So anyway, that's why that super chat that you gave, I thought about that, Gray the Merchant, because this guy, he is the living example of that. Yeah, they don't even understand what the fuck they're even arguing about. I know. He is the living example of that. This guy gets attacked every fucking day. Look, he posts all the review bombs that he gets. There's been other reviews that he has gotten. Look, another one. Putting aside the weird focus on making sure gay people don't exist, the game itself is something I desperately wanted to like. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to give it a hard pass. Refocusing on the gay thing, this is a fantasy game. Something that is awesome in reality shouldn't be singled out and excluded from fantasy just because they can't make babies. No one is saying make the frogs gay, but why eliminate the option in the game? There's countless options. They can't make it. Oh my God, bro. Now, guys, this is the kind of people, by the way, like, this is the kind of people that would yell at you when you're like, why are you putting all this extra focus on gay shit? Can't you just like even it out a little bit, or maybe like not be so fucking pandering? They'll be like, well, if you don't like it, don't buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. Not every game has to be a straight right-wing chud video game. Meanwhile, here they are in the game that has only straight relationships, and they're the first ones leaving bad reviews and screaming at the top of the lungs that they want to make it gay. Like, you guys are such fucking hypocrites, bro. I really can't. I can't stand it. It's so annoying. Like, you guys obviously don't mean what you say half the time. You're demanding that he makes the game gay. The guy has explained to you for over a year that it doesn't fit within the lore of his universe, and you're leaving negative reviews, not even playing the game. You're leaving negative reviews on this, but you'll be the first one to tell people if you don't like it, don't buy it. Okay. I suppose. They're purposely buying the game just to leave a bad review and then refunding it. This is what they do. So anyway, I've talked about his game before, and I will showcase the game again. I will link it in the chat. If you guys want to support it, you're more than welcome to, but only support it if you like the game. Don't just support it just because. Yeah, they're like a broken record repeating. Exactly. This is a link to the game here. I dropped it in the chat. And if you do buy the game and you leave a positive review because you liked it, well, then you can tell them that you found it here. I'm not sponsored in any way. I make $0 from this. I just find this to be one of the most egregious examples of what Gray the Merchant has been saying or was saying in the super chat. That's all. All right, let's continue. So we got Adair Soto with the 5. Yes, the title of Santa Claus. And he has the title Willy Wonka. He has many titles. How many titles does this guy have? A lot. A lot. Mr. Spanglish, 199, $100 SECC Bunny Girl clip when? YouTube no like. Seriously? I'll figure it out. T-Jab for 34 months says good on him. Never pandered to appease these people who weren't going to buy the game to begin with. Exactly. You weren't going to get their money either way. Exactly, T-Jab. Exactly. He is 100% spot on with this. Like I said, they're only buying the game because they want to leave a bad review. That's the only reason why they're buying the game. So, otherwise, they were never going to buy the game, which is evident because they refunded the game anyway. So, it is what it is. Okay, Rumble, we got Adair Soto with the $1. Every time they use the word fascist, it loses meaning. What it really is this person is Polish. He knows what communist is and fascist really is. And these people want to tell them it's a fascist regime. Yep. It's always the people with the most freedom that want to be oppressed so bad. Dietrich Koenig with the membership over on Rumble. Thank you, my good man. I appreciate that. Absolute legend. And you know what's funny, too? All these reviews that are on Steam, all these bad reviews, it's so funny. They're all getting clown emojis. Every single one of them are getting clown emojis. So it's very clear that people are not falling for this shit. And, you know, if you want to feel even better about this, for all of the losers that are out there trying to review bomb this game, they're getting felted. Completely. Look at the recent reviews. For every negative review came a bunch of positive ones. Completely, utterly felted. Completely countered in every way. You guys mean absolutely nothing. Nothing. Zero. Felted. Countered in every way imaginable. The majority of the recent reviews are all very positive. Almost 2,000 recent reviews for this game. So, again, I'm not sponsored in any way. I just like seeing losers get felted. That's all. I think it's a beautiful thing. So, shout out to this guy, Artur. And again, I've even said, this game, personally, is not for me. Not my kind of game. But it doesn't mean that I can't showcase the game and shout out the bullshit that's happening with it. Yeah, they got parried hard. They got more than parried. Okay, we are fully caught up on everything. Boys, here's what I need you to do. Here's what I need you guys to do. Let me look it up really quick. Hold on. Where is it at? Where is it at? Right here. Okay, so this. I need you guys, if you're not going to hang out for the waifu battle, I need you guys to please go support the video that launched today. It's in the chat right now. If you haven't seen it or you didn't get the notification, please go support the video. If you're not going to watch the waifu battle, I would really appreciate it if you watched the video, left a comment, left a like, all that good stuff. You know how it goes on YouTube. Please support the video to the best of your ability. We are going to have a waifu battle now with our brand new, most hardcore champion ever, Hinata. So if you're not going to join for that, go watch the video, support that video. Also, if you enjoy manga, go subscribe to my manga channel. The channel is blowing up exponentially. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Every video is getting like 20,000 views plus. It's actually unbelievable. We just surpassed 18,100 subscribers over on the manga channel. It's fucking wild. So if you love manga, definitely check it out. I would greatly appreciate it. But let's get into the Waifu Battle, boys. Thank you guys so much for supporting the stream. Those of you that have. And let's have some fun. And hopefully I don't lose my voice again. All right. The good is, man. Old man cat, 11 months. Sorry, I'm late. This was my wife's anniversary gift to me. Sleep. She turned off all the alarms because I've been up for 3 days. 11 months, more like an eternity. When do I get my emoji? Really, old man cat? Much love to you, bro. Sleep is a good thing. Sleep is a really good thing. You should sleep more. If my streams are interrupting your sleep, then please sleep. Please sleep. I appreciate it, man. That's a good gift. That's a good gift. I wish I could get sleep. I don't really get sleep very often. Unless I'm dying. Then I get a little bit sleep because my body's like, hey, stop. Stop whatever you're doing. All right. Waifu Battle, boys. Let's get into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you missed it Friday, it was probably one of the most insane things that I've witnessed in a long time. We set all kinds of records. Okay, we set all kinds of records. We set a brand new super chat record. I think we set almost a brand new Waifu Battle record. I don't know. It was fucking insane. I have never seen anything like that. Yeah, it was wild. Anyway, so with all that being said, we brought, for the first time ever, Hypnotica to the Waifu Battle. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Hypnotica, highly requested, finally entered the Waifu Battle to try to take down Hinata. But even Hypnotica could not stop Hinata, unfortunately. Even though, God bless her soul, she tried. She fucking tried, man. She tried. Which means the number one waifu of all time, and still Waifu Battle champion, is none other than the one and the only Hinata, ladies and gentlemen. So, this shit was crazy. It was insane, okay? This is now our number one waifu of all time, all right? So, congratulations to Hinata fans. With all that being said, the Waifu Battle must continue. And whether she keeps winning or eventually loses, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But the Waifu Battle must continue. And we're going to continue bringing out waifus that are going to try to take down Hinata. So let's go over the rules. Rule number 1. All super chats during the Waifu Battle can and will count towards a particular waifu. But the only way that it is going to count is if you put the name of the waifu in the super chat first. You got to put the name first. If you do not put the name of the waifu in the super chat first, then it will not count. It does not matter how big they are. If you super chat after the fact that you put the name of the waifu that you forgot to put the first time first, then I will make it count. Rule number 2. You can vote for any waifu regardless of who's on the screen. It doesn't matter. You can vote for the champion, who is Hinata, or you can vote for the challenger, who you're about to find out. It doesn't matter who's on screen at the time. Last but not least, after the second waifu comes off screen, I'm going to do a 30-second countdown. After that 30-second countdown, no more super chats are going to count. It doesn't matter how big they are. The last super chat that shows up on my screen is going to be the one that counts. So please, if you're going to vote, vote early and vote hard, ladies and gentlemen. Do you understand the rules? I think I fucked up. Don't forget, you can vote for any waifu regardless of who's on the screen. Wait, T-Jab said something that's important. Hold on. T-Jab said, new grand total of money taken in, and Hinata has now set the bar for 9 wins in a row. Mount Lady and Akito are back at 8. God damn, bro. Oh my God. All right, anyway. Boys, it is time to bring out the challenger, okay? This challenger, well, she's a waifu that was pretty loved in video games. And, I mean, I personally liked her. And I don't know if she could take down Hinata, but at the end of the day, we got to try it all. We got to try it all. It's not just going to be major waifus like Akino and Mount Lady or Hypnotica. But let's see if she could take down Hinata or at least get some love. Because she gave us some good memories. All right, boys. The challenger that is going to go up against Hinata is going to be the one and the only from Mass Effect, Miranda, also known as Big Titty Miranda, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start the clock and let's see who is going to win. Is it going to be Hinata or is it going to be Miranda? Let your votes be known. The names are on the bottom. The names are on the bottom. Ladies and gentlemen, Old Man Cad says Miranda. No clue who's this. You never played Mass Effect? Have you never played Mass Effect? If you don't know who Miranda is? Genetic Sport with $1 from Miranda. I do more, but my wife finds out I'm not going to get fucked. Shout out to Genetic Sport, man. Good priorities. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. 1-8 Gaming on Rumble says, I knew that was Miranda right away. He recognized that ass. That's what it is. He recognized that ass. Don't lie, 1-8 Gaming. I know the truth. I know the truth. Panda Nautic with a 2 says Panda. The day's going to come, Panda Nautic. I don't know when, but the day's going to come. Cryptic Manga with a 5 says Yoriichi. I swear, always trolling. And then when Yoriichi's in the waifu battle, Cryptic Manga is nowhere to be found. Of course. Randall with a 5 says Miranda. Okay, all right. All right, we're getting some Miranda votes in here right now. Let's go. Mr. Melancholy with a 2 says Hinata and her sweater puppy cantaloupes. Really? Really? Keep in mind, guys, 2 of the biggest voters are banned on YouTube right now. Dr. Spike and Trey the Burkhalter are both banned on YouTube. So we have a chance. We have a chance. Cryptic Manga for 28 months says, I'm back for the waifu battle and I missed like 2 months. I know, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. You're never here. You're never here. At this point, I think you just like New Blackstreet better. It's actually kind of sad, to be honest with you. We got BioT Wolf with a 5 Miranda, but let's face it, someone on Rumble is going to drop a $500 for Hinata. I don't think so. You never know. Maybe not. Maybe not today. Maybe not today. And then, hold on. Oh, wait, what? Mr. Spangler says I skipped his? I didn't skip yours, did I? No, I didn't. Hold on. Oh, I did. Wow. What the? Where did that go? Where did that go? Mr. Spangless with a 189. Hinata time to dance on Hypnotica Grave. All right. Well, that's disrespectful. Maybe I subconsciously skipped it for that reason. Maybe. Perhaps. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Cryptic Manga with a 5. Hinata, that blondie can't do anything for her. You know what, Cryptic? Things were a lot more peaceful. Things were a lot more peaceful. It seems as if Rumble has YouTube now scared to vote in the waifu battle, which I find to be very interesting. Everyone votes for Hinata because they're scared of Sonya? That makes sense. She has a mean chancla. Full Metal with a 5 for Miranda. There we go. All right, Miranda's in the lead. Miranda's in the lead. Not by much, but Miranda is in the lead. We'll see what happens. But let's bring out the current #1 waifu battle champion of all time. And I decided to put her in a black dress to represent all the death that's been around her lately. Hinata, ladies and gentlemen, let's start the clock and let's see who is going to win. Is it going to be Hinata or is it going to be Miranda? Let's find out. Let's find out. Alucard, With a 2 says Miranda's Mountains bricked. Makes sense, my man. Just Afford with a 199 says Miranda. Very nice. I appreciate that. The Miranda votes are coming out. We just need a big Miranda vote. That's all we need. One big Miranda vote will change everything. DJ Kotick with a 2 over on Rumble for Hinata. Shout out to DJ Kotick. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. 1. One massive hit from Miranda. Are there no Mass Effect fans? Beautiful Zexel with a 5. Miranda for the win. Get Hinata out of here. People clearly want to see a new champion. What's going to happen, boys? What's going to happen? Sonya's literally screaming at people super chatting saying, no! Zeroist with a 2. Miranda because fuck Hinata. I felt that one. I felt that one. Ron DFK with a 2. Miranda close enough to Bluebees of Liara. I mean, we did have Liara in the Waifu Battle, to be fair, and she fucking lost to Hinata, so I don't really know what to say at that point. Cryptic Manga with a 2. Winry Rockbell. You need to relax, bro. You need to relax, bro. Alucard with a 5. Hinata. Oh, wow, that dress bricked. Come on, Alucard. What are we doing? What are we doing? We got the Swabby one with a $9.99 for Miranda just because you love to see it. You love to see it. Shout out to the Swabby one. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Fucking legendary, my man. It's too quiet, man. There's something missing here. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on here. I feel like it's the Cold War right now. Yeah, exactly. I sense danger nearby. Exactly. So do I. So do I. It's a little quiet. The silence is making me nervous, says Full Metal. Yeah, exactly. Same here. Same here. Because right now, Miranda is in the lead by a decent amount. But we haven't had any major hits on any waifu yet. So it's a little scary. I think it's because people are holding back because they don't want to get felted by Trey or fucking Dr. Spike. We'll see. Someone's hiding in the bushes? Yeah, seriously. Cryptic Manga with a 2. Hinata said you won't take fun out of it. This guy. Old Man Cad with a 1999 banger from Miranda says, don't tell Old Lady Cad. Nope, nobody can tell Old Man Cad's lady anything. You got to keep this $20 secret. Don't say anything, okay? Don't say anything. Shout out to Old Man Cad. Thank you for the 20. I appreciate that. All right, boys. Hinata's coming off stage. At this point, it's anybody's game. I don't know what's going to happen, but Miranda's got a good lead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Holy shit. The last super chat that is going to count over on YouTube is Twisted Master with a $50 mega banger from Miranda. And then Cryptic Manga trolling us again with a $2 banger for Rogue. Thank you, Cryptic Manga. Thank you very much. And then Dr. Spike over on Rumble with a $100 Red Boy Hyper banger for Hinata. Because we all kind of expected that. Of course, Dr. Spike. Fucking legend, man. Oh, shit.
Holy shit.
Zevin Cross with another $100 Red Boy Hyper Banger for Hinata. Saying Hinata, Goth Hinata, hell yeah. Is this Goth Hinata? I guess so. Did not count, unfortunately. Did not count. But I don't think it's going to matter anyway, because I think Hinata won anyway, which makes me sad. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much, man. That was a last second number. You are a legend for that. Thank you. You have so many people who are like, they don't understand how it's always been in the waifu battle. You guys don't understand. You guys lag, and I've told you this. This is why the rules specifically state the last one that shows up on my screen is going to be the one that counts. Because if I were to wait for the lag of the chat, I would be waiting forever. Because you'll say, oh, your number counted. The other person will say it didn't count. And then another person will say theirs counted when it didn't count. John D says, you sure? It came in before the timer ran out. It came in before your timer ran out. It didn't come in before my timer ran out. You understand? The only consistent one is mine. Everybody else is inconsistent because you're all lagging. That's why. But of course, he's going to get a Red Boy Hyperbanger song. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much, Zebin Cross. Like I said, I don't think it matters anyway, because I'm pretty sure she probably won. But we shall see. Rules? There are rules? Yes, there are rules. That's why we have the rules. God damn it. All right, boys. Mods, count it up. In the meantime, we got Red Boy Hyperbangers to consider. Twisted Master, thank you for the 50. I appreciate that, my man. Thank you, everybody, for contributing to the waifu battle. This was unironically close. Even with the Red Boy over on Rumble, I don't think it's that drastic of a difference. It might be. I don't know. Mods are going to count it up. In the meantime, Rumble. Was that the first Red Boy? It was. Rumble, we got Dr. Spike with the first one. So we're going to play a clip for Dr. Spike. And then we're going to play one for Zevin Cross. So let's go. Let's see. Which one? You know what? We haven't done this one yet.
All right, boys, we got another Red Boy Hyper Banger. Let's bring the ladies in.
Shout out to Dr. Spike. I appreciate that, my man. Zevin, you got to tell me what you want for a clip. Is it going to be Goth Latinas since you love Goth Hinata so much? I could give you Goth Latinas if you want that one. Or I could give you Goth Asians, which is a little bit more calmer. You got to let me know what you want in the meantime. Oh, you see, bro, this was our opportunity. Fuck. This was our opportunity. You see how close this was? Oh, my God. This was our chance to finally take her down. Oh, man. See, everybody was trolling and was fucking like scared. Meanwhile, it was an $8 difference. Or whatever, $9. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. This was our chance. Now I'm coping. Now I'm definitely coping for sure. 100% coping so bad right now. Dude. All right. Zevin, did you say what you wanted? I don't think Zevin said what he wanted. Let me scroll up. He said Goth Asians. Okay, all right. Goth Asians for Zevin. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my God, it's a Red Boy hyper banger.
Shout out to Zevin. Legendary $100 Red Boy Hyper Banger. I appreciate that, my man. Thank you so much. Unbelievable. All right, boys. Numbers are in. We got Hinata at $117.99 against Miranda, who was so close at $108.97. Fuck, which means the winner and still Waifu Battle champion is none other than Hinata, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck, man. Let's do it one more time, ladies and gentlemen. One more time. Maximum levels of coping and seething are happening right now.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
And that's it for the Waifu Battle. Hinata's going to go backstage. She will face off against another Waifu tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. Do not miss it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a good time. You already know Sonya's going to lose her fucking mind the moment Hinata actually loses. Whenever that day actually comes, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, boys. Amazing stream. Thank you guys so much for the amazing support. I appreciate you. Like I said, go watch my video if you haven't seen it yet. It's live on the channel right now. Support it to the best of your ability. And join me tomorrow for Griffcast. We're going to be hopefully finishing up soon Total Chaos. And obviously join me on Hypnocast so we can have some fun and hang out as we always do. Thank you guys so much for everything. For liking, commenting, spamming the chat, super chatting, gifting memberships, everything. I appreciate it. And shout out to the Hypno Mods for doing what they do every single day. Appreciate you guys as well. And I will see all of you tomorrow. Until then, go be bigots and go be gooners. Bye.
I am not gay. I have a
women and sex with men. And I got news for you. That means you get. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Her dog, or her cat, was named Vagina. Vagina. Vagina.
Put a ticket in Maker Gang. Suck it, yeah, Jones. Put a ticket in Maker Gang. Fuck it, yeah, put a ticket in Maker Gang. It means put a chicken in it we eat and make it back again.
Fucking pronouns! Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day California shit! 'Cause it's all we fucking know! 'Cause we're boring! We're so fucking Twitter hole! Twitter hole! Get it right!
At the touch of the black man, I bring life. I bring life. I bring life. I bring life. I bring life.